Hi guys, this is EBPMAN with tabletry.com, and we're going to review a new case that I just picked up. It's available on Amazon. It's called the Moko Slim Fit Folio stand case for the iPad 2, and it will fit for the iPad 3. I'm going to compare it to some of the other cases that I already have, looking at the Marware case, folio case, which is a high-end case, a lot more expensive in comparison to this case. So we'll see what the differences are and what kind of value you get with this new case. Alright, so let's take a look at the case. First of all, this case is available on Amazon. It's available for $18.99, and I was very surprised on the quality of the stitching of this case. If we take a close-up view, you'll notice that the stitching is pretty clean around the entire case, both front and back. I don't really see any loose strands when it comes to the case. And as we look at the inside, some of the features of the case include a nifty hand strap, which I'll show you how this works. This really works great if you are standing up and reading, or you're using the iPad to do some type of business presentation. The other thing that I found that's interesting about the case is that these tracks, where you actually place the case or the iPad so that you get the different viewing angles, is pretty deep and wider than most of the other folio cases that I've seen in the market. The other interesting feature that it has is this little elastic. We showed the inside elastic, but it also has one on the outside. And what this one's used for is to tie the back of the case so that if your iPad's here and you're doing some sort of presentation, you can actually take this elastic, put it behind this area so that it doesn't flap as you have your hand right here. So you see how I have the case there. So by doing this, the iPad won't flap up and down when you have it, which is something that you find in some of the other cases that we're looking at. Very similar features if we compare that to the Marware, which is a great company, great product, just significantly more expensive. $18.99. This one here is a close to a $40 or $50 case. You'll notice that it has similar features. When it comes to construction, you both have these arm straps, but you'll notice here that, it may be hard to come up on video, the depth that you have on the channel isn't the same. This is a little bit lighter, and what tends to happen is that the iPad tends to slip. Here, you'll see in a minute, I don't see the slipping. The other difference that I found is that the elasticity of the actual strap doesn't really come back as quick. So here you have the elastic on both sides, and then you have this cloth area here that just snaps back rather easily and fast. This one, it's made up of the full elastic, and when you leave it out, you'll notice how it stays a little bunched up, and you'll notice here how it's really not going back into shape, unlike the one from Marware that just automatically sits down. So there are some differences, and you can see that again still there, and I'm sure that we'll get it back into shape in a couple seconds. In the build quality when it comes to this, as far as the outside shell is concerned, this one has a carbon look and feel. This one has, it's not real leather, it's that PU leather, and sometimes PU stands for, gee, this smells. I'd say this one doesn't smell that much. I just took it out of the plastic and it has a small smell to it, but I'm sure it'll air out. It's not something that's going to bother you, and it doesn't reek as some other cases do. Let's look and see what the case looks like and how you put it on your iPad. Alright, so let's, in order to insert your iPad, you'll notice that it has the cutout here for your camera, and then it has the opening here for your grill. That's one area that's different if we compare it to a more higher end case. For example, this one actually has a grill protecting your speaker. But let's see how you install it or place your iPad in it. So what you do is you slide it in like this. Let me get it in the right angle. And once it goes in, you'll notice it has a really good fit, especially again for an $18 case. It fits well on the edges. You notice here it grips well the iPad. And by the way, this case works also with the iPad, the new iPad. Some people call it the iPad 3, but it's labeled as the new iPad. On this side, you have these corners that all you do is snap it in like this. It doesn't really require hard pressing, but you'll notice once again, it does a really good job of securing the iPad in all the corners. If we were to look at the cutouts, while the cutout I'd say is not perfect, it does not obstruct the camera in any way. If we look at the grill for the actual speaker is exposed, and you have access to the actual charging area. And that's a difference with some of the other cases that may cover up most of this area. But it does protect the iPad for if it were to fall, on the corners or on the bottom. You have the protection all the way around. So let's look at once you open it up. This is a smart cover, so that as you noticed, I had my iPad closed. It was off, and as soon as I open it up, it turns on. Let's look at the viewing angles. Let's see what I was talking about. When I put it in the first viewing angle and I move it, it doesn't come out, which is a sign of a good case, especially if you're going to be using it on a train or on a plane. It doesn't really shift out. If I put it on the next position, again, shaking it doesn't come out. Those of you who have these type of cases will notice that some of the other cases it just pops out really easy. That's not the case with this one. If I were to use it for a presentation, as we talked, I can slip my hand here and I can hold the iPad, but the problem is that the iPad with other cases tends to open, and you have that with the Marware. But I have the little elastic that I can do this, and now I don't have to worry about the iPad flapping or flipping off. So I can hold it like this, and you notice it doesn't flip, or I can hold it like this. So it's for $18.99. I think this is a great value. It's a good case. The odor that the case has when you first open it up, that tends to go away, and to me it's not a deal breaker. So I'd recommend this case. It's a clean case. It also is not as heavy as other cases of this type, and again, it's available on Amazon for $18.99. And this was the Moko Slim Fit Folio Stand. If you have any questions, leave them on the YouTube channel or on tabletsforme.com.